What's good, everybody? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Man, I'm so glad to be back in the building today because we're going to be talking about our boy Russell Wilson. Middle name, some brothers will call him Russell Simp Wilson, right? And I want to talk about a video that him and Ciara made, his now wife, current wife, about the 5 things that Russell Wilson prayed for in a wife, okay? And it's gonna be very interesting about this particular podcast because pretty much what Russell Wilson, he prayed for everything but to marry a single mom that was ran through. But you're gonna get there later. Let's start off a little bit about a history of Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is the current quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks, right? Many of us would say he's already a Hall of Fame quarterback. You know, he's born in the Cincinnati, Ohio area. He's undersized as a quarterback, and he came out of Richmond, Virginia. He was a great athlete there, and he got a full scholarship to North Carolina State to play quarterback there for the Wolfpack. Now, interestingly enough, Russell Wilson was tied between his love for baseball and football, all right? And he played both for North Carolina State between 2008 and 2010. Now, what ended up happening is he actually left to play minor league baseball, and then he tried to come back to play at North Carolina State and was told, like, listen, you can't come back and play here, all right, for your senior year. And that was because of the emergence of strong arm quarterback Mike Glennon. Many of you guys know he played for the Buccaneers. I think he's a decent quarterback, super strong arm, like he has a rocket for an arm. And I'm kind of disappointed that Mike Glennon's career didn't take off because he was pretty standard quarterback. You know, he's real tall. But Russell Wilson got shorted because of the emergence of Mike Glennon at North Carolina State, which brings Russell Wilson to the position of the University of Wisconsin. He played, at the University of Wisconsin in a pro-style offense, which was a smart move because everybody knows the University of Wisconsin runs a balanced offense. And that propelled him to get ready for the NFL draft. And I remember watching him with John Gruden when he asked him, like, Russell Wilson, you're undersized quarterback. There are a lot of guys that have strong arms. Can you compete, on the next level? And he was like, yeah, I can compete. I can play if somebody gives me a chance. Well, sure enough, despite being 5'11", one of the shorter quarterbacks in the NFL, Russell Wilson arguably can be considered, besides Tom Brady and maybe a few other guys and Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson could be easily in the best argument for the best quarterback in the league. Okay, he's done remarkable since he's been there. Won a Super Bowl, should have won 2, 7-time Pro Bowl. All right, he's a dual threat quarterback. He looks to pass first, but and not run, and his quarterback rating is over 101, and he's a threat to win the game at any time, right? He could take any team deep into the playoffs. But let's talk about the team because Russell Wilson initially fell in love with a young lady. Now she was white, and her name is Ashton, okay? And y'all see her on the screen. Nice looking white lady, all right? Ashton. She was, wifey, okay? But what ended up happening with Ashton is Ashton supposedly slept with Golden Tate, all right? And that was a big situation on the Seahawks, and that caused, Ashton Meme and Russell Wilson to divorce, okay? And that was very big news. Now, Russell Wilson, though, at the same time, because typically you never see a black man marry a white woman and then go back black, right? Typically, once they stay marrying white or dating white, they stay doing that or Asian. And I never would think that Russell Wilson would be a guy. If you look at his demeanor, you look at how he acts, Christian kind of guy, really, really clean cut. He don't seem like the kind of person that would really want to go after black women like that. And so we all was shocked when it was found out that Russell Wilson was interested in dating Ciara, right? Now, Ciara is, in my opinion, the complete opposite of Russell Wilson's upbringing, in my opinion, okay? Ciara I don't think comes from a very good family like Russell Wilson. She was a good singer. Like I said, her career kind of, went, I don't know I think her family was like, she's an army brat or whatever, but I mean, she ended up becoming thoughtalicious, okay? And I want to kind of talk about who she dated, right? I mean, she's definitely not, in my opinion, on the same level as Russell Wilson's family, who was, kind of elite black family. She first was dealing with Cam Newton, all right? Like, this is the mini, she was just bouncing with Cam Newton 2011. 2010 through 11, she was with Amari Stoudemire. 2010, Trey Songz. She was 50 Cent's Broad, 2007, 2012, all right? Shad Moss before then, Lloyd Polite then. Then, to make it worse, Future. We all know what kind of nigga Future is. Not only does she deal with Future, so after she got tossed around by all these people, she had a baby by Future, right? Now, any guy looking around will look at, she got a checkered past. Like, she dealt with all these niggas. I'm Russell Wilson. I'm one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL. The last thing I want to do is deal with her. But Russell Wilson recently revealed that he prayed for 5 things in a wife, okay? And I want to go through those 5 things. We're going to play a video of what she actually had to say. But there were 5 things that he wasn't going to settle for in a wife, all right? And the first thing that he wanted was a woman of faith. A woman who believes in God. Okay, it's amazing that she believes in God, but she's having all this premarital sex. She wasn't believing in God when she was screwing Cam Newton. She wasn't believing in God when she was screwing Amari Stoudemire. She wasn't believing in God when she was screwing Trey Songz. She wasn't believing in God when she was, bouncing for 50 Cent. And when she was having, premarital sex for Future. So I guess, where was all that Christianity then, all right? That was the first thing that the nigga said. Then he doubles back. And it actually gets worse, okay? He doubles back and he talks about looking for a woman that is faithful. So if you look at how these relationships go together and go real close, she was Amari Stoudemire 2010, 2011, Trey Songz, Cam Newton, all these niggas, 50 Cent, like she's dealing with all these dudes in a short period of time. I doubted that she's the kind of person like, you know what, I'm not gonna deal with you, I'm gonna break up with you. Well, no, she's dealing with some of these guys at the same time, right? It has to be. Independence. I mean, well, you can say that she has some money, but Ciara ain't had a hot album in 30, 40 years, right? What? A woman that would love him the way that his mother loved his father. Stop right there. I don't know how Ciara can be capable of that, right? Ciara is just loving anybody with some money. I don't know why Russell Wilson thinks that he's special, but that can't be the case, right? And a woman that would tilt the room. Single moms don't tilt rooms, in my opinion. But you know what? I want you to hear what Ciara had to say, talking about how she was out here single momming it up, right? Pretty much looking for somebody to rescue her dusty ass. But I want you to hear it first, and I'm gonna come back and we'll talk about that. Let's go ahead and play that clip.
Let me ask you this. Before I go, let me ask you this. What is your response when people ask you what was the prayer? What do you say? Because that's all people want to know.
Really?
You be acting like you don't hear people asking you the damn question. What was the prayer? That's what they want to know. What was it?
Oh,
Because I pray with you many nights. I'm like,
I'm
did you
trying
keep
to
that one?
tell you.
Did you
But
keep that
the
one?
point is what you just said, that I prayed many nights.
Okay.
I think that's the biggest thing is like, people always say the prayer. It's not just one prayer. It's multiple prayers. Like, especially, when you're going through a big transition in life. Like for me, as we, all know, I was single mom in it. That was something I never envisioned, never imagined. Mm-hmm. And I think at that point, when you're in a time like that in your life, you have to think about like exactly where you are and where you want to go. And so,
because I remember you always telling me like you have to envision it, speak it, believe it.
You have to, because if you don't have a vision for where you're trying to get to, you'll just keep shooting in the dark. You won't get anywhere. And so I think that was the biggest thing is like, I knew at that place at that time in my life that for me, I had to be intentional.
Look at Russ.
Right. No, I did. I had to be intentional.
Well, the funny thing is that everybody asks, what the prayer was for Ciara, but nobody really asked me what was the prayer for me.
Nobody never. You're right. Nobody. Okay, bro. What was the prayer for you?
So marriage is a partnership. It's a business deal in a way, but it's really a partnership. It's like, hey, we're going to do this forever. Like, how are we going to partner and do this, right? And so, for me, I thought of it that way. I was like, okay, well, when you go into a partnership deal or a business type deal, you want to think about what are your non-negotiables? What are the things that this is what I want, and this is what I have to have, and this is what I'm looking for. So I wrote down my five non-negotiables. The first one is I wanted a woman of faith. That's the number one thing I wanted.
And that was important to her.
I wanted a woman of faith. The second thing is I wanted a woman who was faithful. The third thing I wanted is ultimately I wanted an independent woman. Okay. I wanted a person that didn't have to be Ciara. They could be doing whatever, but they had their own identity. They had their own perspective on what they wanted to do in life and how they wanted to impact people. And that was something that I noticed from the first time we met and how she spoke about others. The fourth thing was I wanted a woman who was going to love me the way that my mom loved my dad when he was on his deathbed, and how my mom took care of my dad no matter what the circumstances were, no matter how hard it got. Our family, to be honest, we went bankrupt at one point, and just, it was hard. It was heavy times, and you have to be able to, my dad always knew that we were going to be good. That we were going to be good. My brother, myself, and my sister, that we were going to be okay because my mom was helping lead the way, and she had a great perspective. And the fifth thing was ultimately I wanted a woman who was going to tilt the room. Right? When you walk in the room, if she walks in the room, the whole furniture just slides to her.
Okay.
And so,
all right, guys, you heard it. That she's talking to somebody with this weave that's. I don't know who that is. But like I said, man, these broads out here are always looking for, somebody to rescue some single mom that has a history of dealing with every Negro in the entertainment industry, right? And Ciara gives a lot of these chicks hope. And you know what's funny? All of these things that Russell Wilson prayed for, the sixth thing he should have prayed for was to not deal with a damaged female that was a single mother. He didn't pray for that. I don't know what God you're praying to, bro. Seriously. Are you praying to, Shazabeh, Allah, Jesus instead of Jesus? Who are you praying to, nigga? Because everything that you supposed to pray for, you didn't pray for that. Because what you don't know is you are accepting all of the ghosts of all of those Negroes she dealt with. Future, Cam Newton, Amari Stoudemire, 50 Cent. All of the dudes who thought she wasn't worth marrying and got, she had a baby for a guy that that had babies already. That's how low of self-esteem the woman had about herself. And you rescued her. And pretty much you overpaid for something that other guys wouldn't pay for. And at the end of the day, if you ever divorce her, she gonna take all of your money. But you didn't pray for God for common sense. And that's what's wrong with a lot of you Negroes out here. You pray for everything but some damn sense. This is why a lot of guys are idiots. Total buffoons. I just don't get it. It's clear as day that, nigga, you should have prayed for that. But you didn't. And see, pretty much what you did, Russell Wilson, is you prayed to God, please, Lord, deliver me a single mom with a very checkered past so I can save her. And what they say, be careful what you wish for. Brothers, do not end up like Russell Wilson. Once you know that somebody is damaged to this effect because of who they've dealt with, it is not your responsibility to save them. They can do nothing for you. Only thing they can do is bring you down. All right? They don't have the capability to love, in my opinion. They just don't. Look who she's been dealing with. So guys, that's what I wanted to say. Your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson's in the building. Go ahead and like, subscribe, hit the bell. Check me out on patreon.com/Negro Manosphere. I know the white man holding you back with this good situation right now. Some of y'all are broke, but when you get it, make sure you sign up. Support Black Male Media, support NegroManosphere.com. And also check the first comment pinned to the top. Check out the Black Men Are Perfect t-shirts. You'll be glad that you did. And as you know, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. I'm out.